So welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to show you how you can download the Kali Linux on your Proxmox machine. For that, open any search engine. I'm opening the Google. In the Google you need to type Kali Linux, and the first website which will open Kali Linux, kali.org. So click on the downloads. In the downloads function you can see we have installer image and virtual machines. So for the Proxmox we need to download the ISO image, so we can just ignore these virtual machines and go to the installer image, where you can see we have 32-bit version and we also have 64-bit version. So Proxmox is usually 64-bit version, so if you are running it on the 32-bit machine or old machine, then you can download the 32-bit version, but otherwise just use the 64-bit. Click on any of these links. So first is normal download, then we have torrent download and some download. I don't really know what is that, but yeah, the three possibilities are there, and we can click on any of them and download it. So now we will go to our Proxmox. There what we need to do, actually we need to upload the ISO file which we have downloaded. Go to the local box. We have two local most of the times in the Proxmox. You need to go where you have your ISO images. Click on the ISO images and then on the upload. In the upload you can click on the select file and go to the path where we have downloaded our ISO image. Select the ISO image and click and upload it. Once it has uploaded, you can see it here. Click on create VM, and in the VM first we need to give a name. I'm giving it a name as Kali. Click on this and go to the next. Here we need to select the ISO image which we have for the Kali. Just select this one, click on the next, and rest keep it as it is. The kernel Linux, we don't need to change. It's Linux. Everything is alright here. Here also everything is alright. You don't need to change anything. Go to the next, and here we have a disk size. By default 32. You can keep it 32. I will change it to the 40, but the minimum required I think is 8 GB. But it's always better if you give minimum 20 GB. But I have more space, so I'm giving 40 GB here. Click on the next, and then you can give more cores. I have only 2 cores available, so I'm giving 2 cores here. Rest you don't need to touch. Click on the next, and here the RAM. If you have more RAM, you can give more RAM. Minimum is 2 GB. You can keep it as it is, but I will change it to 6000 MB. That means approximate 6 GB. And then you can again click on the next, and then here actually nothing is required. It's in the bridge mode. I only have one mode here in the Proxmox, so I'm using it in the bridge mode. I will change it later on. At the moment we can keep it as it is. Then click on the next, and this is done. We have already not installed, but we have done a part of it. Now we can see the Kali Linux is available. Now we need to configure it. Click on the start button. Okay, let's click on the console, and here you can see we have a few options. So graphical install and install. I will choose the graphical install. Just hit enter, and here choose the language, whatever you want to choose for your Kali Linux. I will keep it English or English. Click on the continue. Here it is saying what is your location. You can change if you want, and you can keep it by default. So United States is again okay for me. I will click on the continue. It does not really affect much for me, so just click on the continue. and here it is saying which language you want to use for your keyboard. If you have different country keyboard, then definitely you should change it, otherwise you will have issue. I will just, for example, if you have German keyboard, then click on German and click on continue, and then you will have a same format as your keyboard. You can also change the keyboard later on if you want to know how to do that. For that, I have already created a video. I can link it to this video. Here it is asking what network we want to configure. I will keep it by default by Kali. And here it is asking again what domain name we want to give it. Just type something like OKHX or HX and then continue, and it will again by default take it as a username. Then continue. Then here we need to give the passwords. So please be careful giving the password. So if you give some wrong password, actually it is asking you 2 times, so you need to re-enter the password. So the chances of doing it wrong is very less, but sometimes what happens if you have caps lock on or a wrong key 2 times, then you have given a wrong password which you need to change, which you need to change immediately once you log in, but you cannot log in, so it's a little bit difficult. Then here you need to change what particular time zone you want to have. Okay, then here is saying which particular part of your disk you want to use the entire disk for me. And then here it is again asking few other things. It is asking for partitioning. You can just keep the default version. So if you are not sure, it's always good to have the default version. If you know what you are doing, then it's always better. But usually in Proxmox we only have one disk. Just click on the default, except where we need to explicitly give something. And here is saying that we are going to download the partition, and are you agreeing with it? And we should agree and click on the continue. And then it will start configuring the files. It might take again time. I'm pausing the video. So now it is asking us for the software selection. So here we have few other kind of software, GNOME and KDE Plasma. So this is another another Kali Linux desktop environment. I would say keep it default. If you are new, if you know what you are doing, then you can choose them. They are somehow different desktop environment. The feel and look is something different, but we don't need that. Just click on that. So now you can choose the group bootloader. It has 2 options. I'm using the disk which I have given. You can also choose the enter device manually, but this is a device. This is the one which I have, so I have chosen that one. And now let it download for a while. I'm going to pause the videos and see you back once it is downloaded. The process is now completed. It is saying installation is complete, and click on the continue. Then this is the final configuration is completed, and now we can see it took us back to the Proxmox. You don't need to enter anything. It's downloading. And now we have our username and password. The by default password is Kali. Just keep that. Oh, okay, sorry, I forgot that I have changed my username and password. So I'm giving my password which I have chosen during the installation process. Sorry, it means I also changed my username, the wrong one. So I need to give the username first and then the password. So yes, and you can see now this has worked, and we have installation of Kali Linux. So if you like the video, please subscribe my channel.